called Molly with the Dark Brown Hair. And it's about a young lass, Molly, with the dark brown hair, and her true love, Edgar. Now, there was a battle raging in Spain a couple of 100 years ago, and Edgar got called up. Anyway, he preferred that name to Edgar. So, he decided to join the army, where he could be called up and remain anonymous. Anyway, he said farewell to his true love. He says, true love, Molly with the dark brown hair. He said, I've got to go to Spain, there's a battle raging, I'm needed. And she says, well, don't let him get you down up while you're over there. And he said, I won't. So she said, well, farewell up. And he went to Spain. Now, when he got to the battlefield, there was only him and his mate turned up. Arrived. Anyway, well, that was apart from 40,000 Spaniards who were charging him at that moment. Now, the pair of them saw this, cloud of dust and 40,000 Spaniards charging them, and they did contemplate charging the Spaniards. But then the two of them agreed that it would be folly. So, Up, remembering the basic training, decided to panic. And then his mate suggested that there was only one way they were going to get out of this alive, and that was to play possum. So, you've got to remember that back in the 1700s in Spain, possum was as popular as Scrabble is today in Britain. Unfortunately, one of the lads had his possum board in his rucksack. Anyway, he got it out. And they went right through the ranks playing possum. There wasn't one Spaniard who could touch him at possum. And they beat the whole 40,000 Spaniards, they beat a lot of them, and they were so well respected, at possum, that for the duration of the war, they ended up with a nice cushy job on sentry duty outside an amusement arcade in Lorette de Mar. Now, back in the village, Molly with the dark brown hair, she was so broken-hearted, thinking that Up had probably died, or as the expression, up and died, became popular in Ireland at that time. She was so broken-hearted that she went totally bald, except for one long dark brown hair, which is where the song gets its title. Anyway, shortly after this, she died of a broken heart. Right? She died of a broken heart, the poor lass. Now, Up came back after the war, back to the village. Now, he's a hero, and he didn't realise, because, he hadn't been doing out. But he was a hero, and when he arrived back at the village, there was all these tables in the street, and there was flags up, bunting everywhere, crowds out cheering him, and he got the shock of his life. And they were all patting him on the back, saying, it's not good to have your back up. And he's going, oh, it's blooming good. He says, it's blooming good to be back. He says, I wasn't expecting this kind of reception. He said, I was only doing me duty. He wasn't, He says, has anybody seen Molly by any chance? I'd love to see Molly. And they're all patting him on the back, saying, it's blooming great. The lads are out to greet you, the football team. They haven't won a match since you went to Spain. Oh, he's going, blooming. Oh, he says, the lads. He says, do you know I haven't kicked the ball in 3 years? He said, any nutter can chuck a frisbee. He says, let me, he says, hey, has anybody seen Molly by any chance? It'd be lovely if she's, if I could. Anyway, they're all patting him on the back, saying, he's blooming smashing to have you back. Your old mother's down there. She's made you one of your favourite meat and potato pies. Oh, he's got me. Oh, he says, I'm sick of paella. Oh, he says, give us a bit of that meat and potato pie. Oh, and then he says, hey, is anybody saying Molly? He said, it'd be great if I... Anyway, someone said, Molly's dead. We'll go down the pub first, have a few beers and a sing-song, and then we'll go and have a party in the street. Now, basically, that's what the song's about, right? But with a lot of traditional songs, you can sort of miss the truth. I've done a lot of research. You can miss the truth in the ballad if it's not sort of explained earlier on, because the song doesn't actually mention half of that. But I know. I've got all the books. It's called Molly with the Dark Brown Hair. I come into the village green, a soldier from the war. Dear neighbours, I am plain Tom Brown, all bronzed and bruised and scarred, all bronzed by southern summer suns, and 20 battles glare, but I cannot see my Molly with the dark brown hair. 'Twas there beneath yon spreading tree I kissed my love adieu. The drums were beating down the lane, there with the ring that out 3 years have passed, and now I ask, dear friends, why do you stare? Tell me where is lovely Molly with the dark brown hair? The village has turned out to sea and greet me home once more. Every smiling face of old is shining to the fore, and the scowling front of war ends beneath this pleasant air, but I cannot see my Molly with the dark brown hair. When death was calling for his prey, I looked him in the eye. I stood upon the hills and felt his messenger sweep by, but while I was spared, who plucked his beard within his very lair, and called for lovely Molly with the dark brown hair. The sun is shining as of old, the birds sing in the trees. The hills, the vales, the pleasant streams, there are no change in these, and the smell of clover blossom rides along the scented air, but I cannot see my Molly with the dark brown hair. I come into the village green, a soldier from the war. A wreck of 20 battlefields, all bronzed and bruised and scarred. Well, you give me merry greetings, but your joy I cannot share.